On Mount Olympus, where Greek mythology becomes legend, there is a figure who cannot be overshadowed by the brilliance of Zeus. She is not only the goddess of marriage and family, but also the only woman daring enough to confront, control, and even punish the king of the gods. She is Hera, the great queen of Olympus, who holds not only supreme power alongside Zeus, but also embodies loyalty, hatred, and formidable intelligence. Hera is not the model of a meek wife. She is a powerful woman, principled, and willing to do anything to protect the sanctity of marriage, even if it makes her the enemy of the innocent children Zeus fathered outside of their union. In today's video, we will explore the complex portrait of Hera, from her origins, prominent stories in mythology, to her influence in modern culture. Get ready, as the journey with the Queen of the Gods will take you through schemes, wrath, and the truths behind the most powerful throne of Olympus. Who is Hera, goddess of marriage and queen on Mount Olympus? To understand Hera, we must begin with the origins of the Greek gods. When the universe was still in chaos and power was divided among ancient entities, Hera is the daughter of Cronus, the god of time, and Rhea, a powerful Titan goddess. What is special is that she was not merely a goddess born to marry Zeus, but she was his sister, and also one of the children swallowed by Cronus immediately after birth. According to legend, Cronus was warned that one of his children would overthrow him, so he swallowed each child right after they were born. Hera, along with her siblings, such as Hades, Poseidon, Demeter, and Hestia, was swallowed. Zeus, the youngest, miraculously escaped that fate, and, when grown, defeated Cronus, freeing his siblings, including Hera. Hera, the goddess of dignity, from the moment she was freed. Hera radiated regal beauty and queenly presence. In mythology, she is described as an extremely beautiful, graceful, and noble woman. Many other gods courted her, but Zeus, the youngest brother who saved her, won Hera's heart. In not so divine a manner, one legend tells that Zeus transformed into a small cuckoo bird, pretending to be injured to win Hera's sympathy. When she embraced the bird, Zeus immediately returned to his original form and begged her to marry him. Hera had no choice but to accept. This marked the beginning of a marriage that was far from peaceful. The goddess of marriage, a sacred and contradictory symbol. As the goddess of marriage, weddings, and fidelity, Hera represents the sanctity of the marital relationship. She was worshipped in many traditional Greek wedding rituals, and women about to marry would pray to Hera for a happy married life. However, there is a great paradox. Hera's own marriage was full of unhappiness. Zeus, the god often seen as the playboy of Olympus, had countless affairs with both goddesses and mortals, and Hera, as his wife, could not forgive. Rather than vent her anger on Zeus, something she sometimes did, Hera often directed her fury at her husband's lovers and the illegitimate children he fathered. Famous stories such as Hera's pursuit of Heracles, Zeus's son with Alcmene, or her punishment of Leto, mother of Apollo and Artemis, clearly reflect her nature of both jealousy and toughness. Not just Zeus's wife, Hera has her own power. A very important thing to note about Hera, she is not just famous for being Zeus' wife. Hera has true power, her own independent power. She was not completely dependent on her husband, as many may think. Hera was one of the 12 Olympian gods, with her own throne, powers, and a significant influence over the governance of marriage and family ethics in ancient Greek society. Major cities like Argos, Samos, and Mycenae revered Hera as their patron goddess. building massive temples in her honor, including the Heraion at Samos, one of the most sacred structures of ancient Greek civilization. In conclusion, Hera is not a figure easy to love, but also not easy to hate. She is a symbol of loyalty and dignity, but at the same time reflects the darker sides of love: jealousy, hatred, and control. In a world where men often dominate, Hera stands firm as a powerful woman, someone who can make even the strongest gods take caution. Notable stories about Hera: love, hatred, and pride. If Hera represents marriage and loyalty, then her greatest paradox is the betrayal and bitterness within her own marriage. However, what makes Hera one of the most memorable gods is not her suffering, but how she reacts, fights, and asserts her position in a chaotic divine world. Below are some prominent mythological stories that clearly reflect her personality and formidable power as the Queen of Olympus. Heracles, the illegitimate child. Hera could never forgive the name Heracles. Hercules in Latin means glory of Hera, a name full of irony, as Heracles is Hera's sworn enemy, whom she would never forgive. Heracles was the result of Zeus's affair with the mortal Alcmene. Hera, upon finding out, became so enraged that she vowed to make Heracles' life a tragedy. From the time Heracles was a baby in his cradle, Hera sent 2 giant snakes to kill him, but with his supernatural strength, Heracles strangled the snakes with his bare hands. Not stopping there, Hera continued to drive Heracles mad, leading him to kill his own wife and children. To atone for his sins, Heracles had to complete 12 extraordinary tasks, known as the 12 labors, a series of events that created his legendary status. No one else, except Hera, was behind these harsh challenges. Io, a priestess transformed into a cow due to Zeus's love. Io was one of Zeus's famous lovers. When Hera discovered Zeus's affair, Zeus quickly turned Io into a white cow to hide her from Hera. However, Hera was not easily fooled. She pretended to admire the cow and asked Zeus to gift it to her. Hera then tied Io up and sent Argus Panoptes, the giant with 100 eyes, to guard her. But Zeus, unwilling to yield, sent Hermes to kill Argus. Hera, furious, took Argus's eyes and placed them on the tail of the peacock, her sacred animal. Io had to endure punishment everywhere before being freed, and this story became one of the proofs of Hera's cleverness and resilience in defending her honor. Leto, the mother of Apollo and Artemis Leto, was a gentle goddess, but she became the target of Hera's wrath. Upon learning that Leto was pregnant by Zeus, Hera became violently jealous and forbade any land to shelter Leto during her childbirth. With nowhere to go, Leto wandered the world. Eventually, she was allowed to give birth on the island of Delos, a floating island not fixed on any map. There, Leto gave birth to Apollo and Artemis, 2 of the greatest gods of Olympus. Hera's actions not only showed her jealousy, but also her supernatural power in making even the land and sky obey her command. The rebellion against Zeus, when Hera challenged the throne. In a lesser-known story, Hera once led a rebellion against Zeus, her powerful husband. She teamed up with Poseidon and Athena to overthrow Zeus. Angered by his autocracy and lack of discipline, they plotted to bind Zeus while he slept and attempt to divide the rule. But the plan failed when the goddess Thetis rescued Zeus by calling upon the monster Briareus to help. Later, Zeus punished Hera by suspending her between the sky, her hands and feet chained, until she apologized. Though the ending is somewhat tragic, this story shows that Hera was not a weak wife, but a true power counterbalance even to the king of the gods. Paris and the Golden Apple, the event that led to the Trojan War. In Greek mythology, a famous event is the beauty contest amongst the three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. It all started when the goddess Eris, the personification of discord, threw a golden apple into a banquet with the inscription, "For the fairest." The three goddesses fought over the apple and asked the Trojan prince Paris to judge. Hera promised to give Paris power and glory. Athena promised wisdom and victory. And Aphrodite promised him the love of the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen. Paris chose Aphrodite, leading to the Trojan War. Hera, angered by the rejection, supported the Greeks and relentlessly hindered the city of Troy until it was destroyed. Hera, not just a goddess, but a symbol of female power. Through these stories, Hera is no longer a one-dimensional character. She embodies jealousy, but the jealousy of one who preserves honor, resilience, willing to confront the highest powers for justice and morality, intelligence, knowing how to plan, punish, and leave a lasting impact. Although sometimes viewed negatively, Hera remains a powerful symbol for women, someone with a voice, emotions, and the intellect to survive in a world where men are often favored. Eternal legacy, Hera in popular culture and modern feminism. When mythology has become ancient tales, the meaning and symbol of the gods still quietly exist in human consciousness. Hera is not merely a character from Greek mythology. She is a timeless symbol of power, loyalty, self-esteem, and feminism. In this section, we will explore how Hera has left her mark on modern culture, from art, cinema, to discussions about the role of women in society. Hera in classical art, the model of dignity and powerful femininity in ancient statues, frescoes, and Greek pottery. Hera is often depicted as a powerful, dignified woman, wearing a crown, draped in a long robe, holding a scepter or pomegranate, symbols of fertility and eternity. Unlike other goddesses who carry an image of sensuality or warrior traits, such as Aphrodite or Athena, Hera's image is always associated with dignity, majesty, and royalty. She does not need to flaunt her body or weapons. Her strength comes from position, intellect, and character. Many Renaissance painters, such as Rubens and Tintoretto, were inspired by Hera to express themes of female power and the contradictions of love, showing that Hera is not only a religious symbol, but also a cultural inspiration lasting millennia. Hera on screen, the goddess and queen in the world of fantasy. In the world of cinema, Hera is often depicted as a complex character, both intellectual and cold-hearted, a testament to her depth in mythology. In the movie Hercules, Disney, 1997, Hera is reimagined as a kind and loving mother to Heracles. A departure from the original myth, this reflects an attempt to soften Hera's image to suit children while still maintaining her noble status. In the movies Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans, Hera rarely appears, but her absence is a sign of the reluctance to depict such a powerful character, often replaced by more easily approachable male gods like Zeus or Hades. In mythological series and games such as God of War and Immortals Phoenix Rising, Hera does not appear directly, but her power is mentioned as an influential force in divine schemes and relationships among the gods. In modern fictional works like Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series, Hera appears as a very powerful figure, always pursuing order and rules. Despite being disliked by the main characters for her controlling nature, Hera remains one of the most influential gods in the story, reflecting the modern view of women in leadership roles. Decisive, strict, yet indispensable. Hera and feminism, a symbol of autonomous womanhood in a patriarchal world. In an era when society is increasingly celebrating gender equality, Hera once again becomes a strong symbol for modern women. Hera does not accept a passive role in marriage. She speaks out, acts, and is unafraid to punish injustice, even if the culprit is her own husband. Although often depicted as jealous and domineering, Hera actually represents a woman who protects her honor and dignity and family in a chaotic divine world, where men are often allowed to cross boundaries without consequence. In many feminist dissertations, Hera is seen as a symbol of feminine leadership, emphasizing that power and emotions are not opposing concepts, but can coexist and create true strength. Therefore, Hera, although once negatively judged, is gradually being exonerated in modern society, becoming an image for women who are not afraid to speak up, are hard to subdue, and are always ready to protect what belongs to them. Religious legacy. Hera still revered as a patron goddess in some parts of Greece. The ruins of Hera's temples still exist to this day, particularly the Heraion at Samos, one of the largest and most sacred temples of the ancient world, where people worshipped her as the goddess who protected marriage, fertility, and family life. In traditional wedding rituals, many customs such as wearing wedding rings, using pomegranates, or offering wine, all bear the mark of Hera, showing how her influence still deeply permeates Western culture and beyond. As the Queen of Olympus, Hera not only sat on her throne, she managed, confronted, ruled, and sometimes challenged the divine order itself. Whether you love or hate her, one thing is undeniable: Hera is one of the most powerful, memorable, and profound figures in all of Greek mythology. Hera, the woman behind the throne, or the throne itself. In the world of Greek mythology, where gods are often depicted with greatness, strangeness, and sometimes capriciousness, Hera stands out not only by her title as Queen of the Gods, but by the depth of her character and actions. Unlike one-dimensional characters, Hera is a combination of power and emotion, pride and hurt, fairness and fury. As the wife of Zeus, the supreme god, Hera should have been able to rest on her throne, enjoying the respect, but in reality, she had to constantly fight to assert her position, both with external enemies and with her unfaithful husband. She was never just a shadow behind Zeus. She was the one who maintained order, the embodiment of rules, loyalty, and family values. If Zeus is the sky full of thunder, Hera is the sky that maintains the stable light for the divine world. If Olympus is a kingdom, then Hera is not just a queen. She is the law, the foundation, and the voice of justice. However, it cannot be denied that Hera also made mistakes, sometimes taking ruthless actions in the name of honor. She punished the children of Zeus's infidelities, not because they were guilty, but because she could not punish Zeus. This does not make her weak. It rather proves that even a goddess has emotional limits, struggling between self-respect and love, between reason and heart. Therefore, in the modern era, when people are increasingly delving into the personalities of characters, Hera is being redefined. No longer a symbol of blind jealousy, but a model of a strong woman with emotions but not letting them control her entirely. A female leader who knows how to fight for her position, protect her principles, and confront injustice, even when it comes from the one she loves. Hera makes us reflect. Does true strength lie in ultimate power, or in the resilience to uphold one's values, even when betrayed, isolated, or misjudged. Whether you are a mythology lover, a seeker of feminist symbols, or simply someone who enjoys complex characters, Hera will always be a name you cannot overlook. She is proof that, even in the world of gods, human complexity is the most beautiful thing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video if you found this story interesting, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Hera is a hero or a villain? Your answer might reveal more than you think.